Hello everyone, welcome to these Battlegrounds. I'm Bobby B, and today we'll be looking at the Valaverse Action Force, TerrifiCon exclusive, the Crimson Shadow Technologies Elite Praetorian. Now, for those of you unfamiliar with the word Praetorian, I think the only time I've ever really heard it used was the New Royal Guards from the sequel trilogy of Star Wars, the guys that guarded Snoke. I know they were called Praetorians of some type, but comes from the word Praetor, which is Roman era issue. It's kind of like someone with power, kind of breaking it down like a commander of a military group, something along those lines is kind of how I pulled all the different definitions. Like an ancient Roman official ranking below a council and acting as a judge or magistrate. And then if you keep like digging into it, it boils down to going back to the Roman Republic and their to a man acting in one of two official capacities, commander of an army, stuff like that. So you guys kind of get it. It's a different word, something fun. We got the Elite Praetorians here. This is our third. Crank that light away from you guys a little bit. This is our third outing with the Crimson Shadow Technologies. We had our prototype armament pack, which is kind of like a tease. And then we got our weapons tins, which you guys have all seen. And there's one right here. And now we have we got some troops back in it. When he announced they were androids, it's kind of thrown off a little bit. We'll talk about that when we get into the combat profile. But it makes sense, the leading weapons manufacturer in the world of Valaverse, and leading weapons manufacturer in the world of Valaverse, and then kind of goes from there. And it's something different, and it kind of makes me think that the Action Force is getting a little outgunned and outmanned. We got the Swarm with the jetpacks and their armor and everything, and now we got some highly intelligent battlefield androids coming for them. Or maybe they're on the good side. We don't know what side Crimson Shadow falls on yet. I don't believe they're in any of the comics, but it's been a minute since I've read up on them. So diving in, we'll take a look at the packaging. It's that we saw it with Series 4. We're seeing it with Series 5. We got the blister on the card. There's your combat profile. You can pause it. It's different from the regular Praetorian. This little paragraph down here, basically they emit a I don't want to say radiation, but essentially radiation. And then it kind of says the last sentence: soldiers who have survived encounters with the Elite Praetorians often suffer from violent headaches, vertigo, and damage to their nervous system. So they mess with your internal electrics. It's going to be 3 action points since he's an exclusive. Nice little shot of him on the back there. Elite Praetorian. And then we get, instead of getting that Action Force logo on top, we get the Crimson Shadow Technologies, which I think is a pretty fun logo. And then we still got the digital camo in the background. So a lot of these were wounded. I think they were all wounded that were up for sale. And mine didn't come too bad. A little bit of creases here and there, but nothing too crazy. Then once you get inside, we get a new stand. It's kind of like on a steel grate looking thing. We got a blue Crimson Shadows Technology star. And then on the back, just all blue, but 6 pegs. No interlocking here. Is it the same size as a standard Action Force stand? Yes. Kinda. Yeah, for the most part, I'd say so. Same shape, so it has that. Slide him out of the way. So we're seeing that. We know we got the rock one that they're switching to from the diamond plate, and now we're going to have this one. Then we know the regular one has a red star, so be able to tell those apart. Getting into the accessories, we get 2 of these projection shields that absorb rounds in 2 different sizes. You get a big one and then a slightly smaller one, and they got little peg holes in them for the round where the rounds are striking. It looks like it could be 2 pieces, but it seems like it's glued on, so we'll keep that over here. You get 4 of these little well, they're not really blast effects, they're more like impacts from rounds. These little tiny guys. You get kind of like a big splash, and then as I'm dropping them everywhere at like an angle, then you get more of a straight on kind of splash. I don't know if you guys are able to see that. And those peg into these little peg holes, and there's multiple peg holes on each one of these. I think it's a fun idea, and it definitely adds a little bit of fun to it. But when they're not on, though, however, you do have the little dots that you can kind of see here and there depending on the angle. So it would all just depend on how you look at it, how you pose it, and go from there. We get this energy sword kind of thing. It's mentioned in the combat profile a little bit. And then there's this large piece right here, and that pegs into a slot on the arm. Just goes right in. Nothing to it. And it seems pretty snug in there, so. Seen some melee action going on. Getting to the weapons, I'm stumped when it comes to this one. It was looking like a large vector to me. I'm not exactly sure what it is. Does this magazine come out? Looks like it could. Looks like it wants to. But overall looks good. It feels like those M4s that we've gotten before, so I'm not sure how I feel about that yet. It's got a porthole for blast effects in the grenade tube. However, there is no porthole for the barrel, so you got to use the over barrel flat blast effects and then go from there. Let me see if I can pop this out real quick. It is sculpted in, so that magazine's sculpted in. We switch over to this Springfield Armory Hellion looking thing. Now I could be wrong there because we're out of my wheelhouse when it comes to these weapons now. And this thing looks fun. A nice little bullpup rifle. The magazine comes out, obviously. Goes in, nothing to it. And then same thing, you got to use the over the barrel blast effects and go from there. Getting to the figure, we get our usual hands, 2 trigger hands on the figure. We get 2 regular gripping hands, and they have the like knuckle plating kind of protecting them. As you guys can kind of see, that kind of edges over. We get 2 fists. Same with that knuckle plating peeking over a little bit. We get our C-grip or cupping hands, whichever you prefer to call them. And that nice little knuckle overlay is kind of tucked back a little bit. So you kind of see it move with the hand. And then obviously we got our trigger hands. Getting into the figure himself, very some nano bat feels. Like I said, when they mentioned the Android, oh, one more accessory. We get a pistol. Nice little futuristic pistol. It's got the porthole for blast effects. That's about it. And that just goes right into the holster on the side. Figure himself's pretty good looking. Definitely some strong Android vibes. You got the silver, skeleton underneath with the clear translucent green overlay, which I love. Got a nice little Crimson Shadows logo on the chest. And just overall menacing look. So head can look down that much. I don't know what this thing's eyes would be if it's just all sensors. Can go up that much. As you can see, that neck piece kind of comes out a little bit. Can we get a T-pose? A little stiff. Shoulder pauldrons kind of get in the way a little bit for that. Some insane butterfly. So pretty good there. Double jointed elbows. Get about that much because the overlay of the green armor, I guess it would be. Then you guys can see that those pauldrons kind of are a separate piece off the shoulder, which is kind of nice. Definitely getting some movement. I've seen some posts online of the left bicep popping off. Both of mine are pretty solid, so I think it's just kind of like a small batch issue like it was with the Who came after the Valkyries for classified? I know Zorana had the issue. Jinx. Yeah, my Jinx is good, but I did see some people say their Jinx was bad, but it's only like a small few, so this one's good. This one's good. Both of mine are good. You got the diaphragm cut, waist cut. He's gonna go get these arms up a little bit. Crunch that much. Crunch back that much. You got drop down hips and legs. That giant green translucent pelvis piece. And then we got 3 magazines on the leg piece, and it is glued on. At least if it's not, I'm not trying to pop it off because I'm not trying to glue it back on. Same with the holster. I know you guys were DMing me today about it, and I was like, I just went to work. This thing arrived right before I left for work. So double jointed knees, going that much. Straighten out. Got some robot ankles, some robot Jordans, it looks like. And the typical usage. Seeing how he stands up, we're going to compare some other Series 5 stuff, and then we'll talk about some other convention exclusives we've gotten. So we got our Reaper. If I can get my Reaper to stand. And then we got our Bone Collector version 2. So he's slightly taller. Looking up, trying to get him the slightly taller. Nothing too crazy. It's expected for an android. And then comparing him to some other convention exclusive we've seen. We got Joe Fest Warpath Eclipse. The BotCon Wasp Raider. He doesn't want to go on a stand. We got our Horde Trooper. We got our Joe Fest Horde Troopers from PowerCon. We got our Joe Fest Slaughter with the soft goods jacket, which isn't going to fit anywhere here because we got all this junk. And then we got our DFW G.I. Joe Show Bone Collector V2. We got the bloody variant sneaking up. So exclusives are convention exclusives are nothing new to the Valaverse Action Force line. Which one's your guys' favorite? Do you guys have a favorite? You like them all? Are you guys missing any, or any part of your grails? Let me know. But definitely a welcome piece. Definitely an easily, if you guys didn't make it to the show or didn't score any on the website, easy to skip since we got the Elite Praetorians coming up, or the regular Praetorians coming up here, in the end of October, I think he said it was. I think it got moved back to then, but pretty solid. Definitely looking forward to seeing some of the action shots and photography people do with these. And I'm curious to how they're going to play out in the future, since we don't know too much about the Crimson Shadows yet. And we're still waiting on the Horde, but I think the rumor is that Series 6 is going to be villains. So, fingers crossed. How do you guys feel about it? Let me know in the comments below. Did you guys pick it up? Did you guys skip out on them? Waiting for the red and black ones? Until next time, load up, grab your kits. See you on the battlegrounds.